right. All right. All right. Just wanted to make sure my mic was working. Got plugged by accident. All right. So we're gonna talk about a few topics. You could probably tell by the hashtag what topics we're going to talk about. Now I know I just did a video just now telling everyone who about that I'm about to do this live stream. Um that I only talked about that I was going to talk about two of the topics, but we're also got a third one, or at least unless of course anyone else have anything other topics to think of trying to do. I'll probably also try to see if I can get more people to show up if they want to come. Uh, if you do show up, or make sure you just hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that like button. That helps with notifications because I know a lot of people don't get notifications to my videos or live streams. But anyway, yes, there's a lot of interesting topics to talk about. We have the situation with Dave Chappelle being attacked at a comedy show. Hey, Daryl Phil, how's it going? The death of Kevin Samuels, and also the death of Patrick Loya, which I'm going to talk about first, even though that's kind of the more older topic. I'm going to bring that one up first. He was killed by a race soldier. So let's bring up that topic first. But first, I'm going to try to get to my screen. Sorry about that. All right. What was I about to say? Oh, yes, that's right. I was about to. All right. I'm trying to make sure that people can see my screen. But as you should know, that is, or should I say, was Patrick Loya. So this man was a immigrant from the People's Republic of the Congo. He escaped poverty and war-torn violence from his own country in the Congo, only to be killed here in America by a bunch of race soldiers. Now, this is to those who are foreign-born, but support my channel, support me, support the Black diaspora. To support the is for a global Black community. This is for the foreign-born Blacks who are just coming into this country that is the United Snakes of America, or the divided snakes. Yes, Daryl, it was a straight-up murder. These race soldiers don't care. These anti-Black racists do not care what country you come from. They do not care what religion you practice. They do not care if you are good or evil, if you have done good or if you've done bad. They do not care how much money you have, how rich you are, or how poor you are. They do not care about how much money you have. They do not care about which political party you vote for in elections. They do not care about who you love and who you hate. Anti-Black racism, it's called anti-Black racism because it's anti-Black, as in anti-Black people. If you racially identify as a Black person, it doesn't matter what country or ethnicity, if you racially identify as a Black person, you are usually a target here, especially by the racist cops, the race soldiers that killed Patrick Loya. They don't care that he's from the Congo. They see him as the N-word, ladies and gentlemen. They see him as the N-word. We all know what the N-word is, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to use that disgusting word. But we know that that's what the anti-Black racists think about us. That's what the negative thing that they say about us is that N-word. And that's why Patrick Loya was killed. It wasn't because he didn't comply. We don't even know why he was pulled over. I've heard it was a broken tail light or expired license. I don't know what it is. And Patrick Loya should have stayed put where he was because not isn't he? I mean, he should have stayed in his car where his hands could be seen and not try to communicate with these officers, because the officers will find any means, any excuse to wanting to kill them. They were not there to give out tickets or arrest him and interrogate him. Those race soldiers, they wanted some blood. They wanted to get, because they've seen their fellow race soldiers kill Black people and get away with it. All right. They know that that badge helps them, protects them from things that they could get in trouble for if they were working at a regular job. They know this country is pro-police and anti-Black. They know that. Now, yes, the murderer of George Floyd, Derek Chauvin, he got put in jail, but that was because of pressure, not because it was the right thing to do. I mean, yeah, part of it may have been because it was the right thing to do, but another of it was because we actually pressured and said that either George Floyd get justice or there will be no peace. That's what the people said when they were protesting on the behalf of George Floyd. And that's when the justice system, the anti-black racist justice system, had no choice but to put Chauvin in jail. They had no choice. If they weren't pressured by us, Derek Chauvin would have gone free. And you know that they never identified the cop that shot him. That's because they don't want to. Because they said that now they'll make an excuse saying that he wasn't charged yet. He's on administration, blah, blah, blah. Deep down, they don't want to reveal that cop because they know what's been going on. Some of the cops are getting punished, but not enough. And they're getting worse and worse each day. The race soldiers are getting worse and worse each day. They are on bloodthirst right now, especially because of Derek Chauvin. I blame both political parties. The Republicans for egging the race soldiers on killing. The Republicans are egging on the race soldiers to kill to kill black people, and I also blame the Democrats. I blame Joe Biden and the Democrats for this because they are not trying to help black people and put in policies that punish race soldiers. And they're the ones that's supposed to have more control of the government right now. This is why the Democrats are going to lose this year's midterm, where they could be at risk of losing a few governor seats, as well as the House and Senate, because while they spending billions of dollars to help a foreign country that's not even a member of NATO fight off another bigger country that's being a bit of a bully that has nothing to do with us, they're not using that resources to help punish race soldiers that killed Patrick Loya or any other black person. They're not wanting to give us reparations. That's why we're trying to say, you know what, why should we support either party if either party is just going to just ignore black people and try to destroy black people out of existence in this country. But they're probably going to try to blame it on the Republicans. The Democrats are probably going to try to blame it on the Republicans. The Republicans are probably going to blame the Democrats. And I say, nope. It's both of you guys, Republican and Democrat. Joe Biden was doing all these executive orders to protect other groups from discrimination and violence, especially what happened with the Rona. But he never used those same policies to protect black people from race soldiers and other anti-black racists. Notice that. He gave up on policies that he thought was going to get black people to vote for Democrat. He backtracked. He was going around, Jim Crow Joe was going around saying, I got black people's back. For the past couple of years, you have shown that you don't have black people's back. Yes, that's exactly right, Daryl. Yeah, maybe it's time. Now, some people are starting to go third party or just not be affiliated with a party right now and just sit it out. And I can't blame them. Because the current political system has not done anything for nobody. Nobody. The political system has done nothing. Because if they had tried to do something, people like your Patrick Lloyds over here would not have been killed the way they were killed. But yeah, that's what's been going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I blame both parties for the situation. I blame both parties because both parties, and I know the Biden supporters are probably going around saying, you still gotta vote Democrat. We can't let Trump back in there. Um, yeah, you're right. I don't want Trump back in there, but Biden has proven he's not to be trustworthy either. I don't want Biden in there either. I don't want Biden to stay in there. Hell, I don't want Kamala to be in there. I'm sick and tired of the lesser of two evils. But apparently, what Biden has done is actually making Trump the lesser of two. I don't like Trump. This is not me defending Trump. This is not me liking this is not me liking Trump. I despise Donald Trump. But when it comes to just black people alone, what Biden has done is only making black people think, is only going to cause black people to think that maybe Trump was the lesser of two evils. Like I said, this is not me defending Joe Biden. This is not me telling you to go vote for Trump in 2024. Hell no. I want nothing to do with Trump. I'd rather go third party. Because as long as the Democrats keep doing nothing for black people, because what Democrats are trying to do is they're trying to make it bring a bunch of people from illegal from other countries to undermine the black vote, so they don't have to worry about doing anything for black people. So that asks the question: why should black people still vote for the Democrats when the Democrats have decided they can care less about black people and they just want to replace us with a new voting base? And that the reason why they could end up unfortunately succeeding is because we still keep putting the Democrats in, at least the ones that is not going to do nothing for black people. But if we start sitting out and making these Democrats lose and teach them a lesson that without the black vote, they don't get to win, then maybe we might really get some stuff done. We have proven we can get stuff done without political leaders. George Floyd was just an example. What's up, Kenya Perry? What's up, Polo Sports? Hey, Polo Sports, if you want to come on in, as a matter of fact, if anyone wants to come on in, I'm about to send in a link to let people in, just in a couple minutes. But I've been watching Phil Scott, the African Diaspora channel. He keeps saying that, and I actually agree with him, that we either need to do a protest vote or we need to sit it out. Why? Because as long as the current political parties continue to undermine black people, why should black people still vote for them? What we need to start doing as a community is we need to start doing what other communities do, and that go for the highest bidder. That means the political party, even the ones we don't like, if they're willing to actually do stuff for black people, even if people hate that party, that's the party we need to go for. Or we need to do what Daryl said in the chat room, form our own party. We need to stop giving away our votes and end up, because that hurts us economically, that hurts us socially, that ends up hurting. When we keep voting against our best interests, that only hurts our community to the point where we can be undermined and be a permanent underclass that can destroy us to the brink of extinction. That has to stop now, not later, now. All right. Biden is in office right now. Why didn't he put in policies that could prevent stuff like this, or at least make it so that whoever did what they did to Patrick Loya get severely punished? And so far, no one is doing anything for Patrick Loya or his family. No one is doing anything. And as a result, his killers are going to end up going free because no one is doing anything for black people. No one is doing anything for Patrick Loya. That's why I put 100% blame on Biden, at least right now, because he's the one in office. He's the one. He says that his party is the one that's supposed to be doing stuff for black people, but he's not done anything for black people. He's done everything for other groups. He's doing stuff for people who don't even live in this country, who have their own problems. Hell, he's not doing anything for anybody in this country, to tell you the truth. But he got something for illegals, who, by the way, the reason why we call them illegals is because they're here illegally. Yeah, whatever happening to that country is bad, but that was something their government should have done. Not to mention, the reason why their governments are in the shape they're in is because the corruption, some of it that was caused by the meddling of the United States of America, this country, the same one that wants to bring these in, but that we know the only reason why they want to bring non-black immigrants in is because they want to flood the zone so there'll be less black people, less black foundational black Americans, and more other people, so that the Democrats can create a new voting bloc, a new voting base that undermines the black community, and then that's when we'll be in serious trouble. Unless, of course, we do something immediately. By the way, if anyone wants to come in, I just put the link in the chat room. So if anyone wants to come in, give your opinion, that would be nice. Yeah. But what happened to Patrick Loya should have never happened. They were talking about that there was going to be police reform, which, by the way, reform is not going to help. It needs to be policies that's going to punish these race soldiers. As long as these race soldiers think that they can get away with their crimes, with the exception of Derek Chauvin, and he didn't get away with it. White females aren't having children, but I don't believe that. I think you're talking about the abortion situation. I might talk about that later on, and maybe in a few minutes, but or in a separate video. I'm not sure. I forgot to talk about that. Might talk about that. That's something I could talk about later. But yeah, going back to what happened to Patrick Loya. Patrick Loya should not have died the way he died. But like I said, as long as you don't put policies that punish the people that do these things, they're going to continue to do these things. Even if a few of them do get in trouble, if it's not a large number of them getting punished for it, then there's going to be the people that are going to still try to do stuff, hoping they can get at the hoping they can get away with it at the risk of being in trouble. There needs to be a large number of race soldiers being punished for crimes against black people. All right. Like I said before, if y'all want to come on in, I just left the link in the chat room. But yeah. So I guess Daryl, yeah, I didn't say I was gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it in this live stream anyway. Yes, let's talk about the Supreme Court and Roe v. Wade. Yes, as you've heard, now here's the thing. The ruling hasn't even been set yet because the actual case that will determine the ruling on Roe v. Wade actually does not happen until next month. What happened was the transcripts from a few Supreme Court judges said that they were going to vote in favor of overturning Roe v. Wade because they believe it is not constitutional. Roe v. Wade was the ruling that the federal government internationally can put in a policy that, as a country, could legalize abortion, and that it is left with the entirety of the federal government, and that it should not only just be a state matter, or that abortion should be legal regardless and not be banned and such and such. Yes, Gerald. Yes, I'm going to bring another reason. Notice that the and also notice that this time the Republicans are actually for immigration now, but not because of the south of the border or the African immigrants or the Caribbeans. No, they're for it now is because of the Ukrainians. What is the racial identity of the Ukrainians, or at least the majority of them, of those citizens? Yes. Anyone in the comment section who's willing to write something in? What is the racial background of the Ukrainians? And why even Republicans are now? You know what? I'm just going to answer it. It's white. Yes, Daryl. That's why they kicked out the Haitians. See, when ICE was created, which, by the way, my mother actually works for ICE, I found out that some of the conspiracy theories, the real reason why they really created that is because they are trying to get rid of a lot of the non-black immigrants. Yeah, they'll say that it was created to deal with the immigration situation. And yes, there is an immigration situation. Illegals coming in. But the real reason why it was created is because there's so many non-white immigrants coming in, or non-white Hispanic. I say non-white Hispanics, as is in there's so many white people who are non-Hispanic. There's so many people who are non-white that are coming in this country from Africa, from Central America, from the Caribbean, and stuff like that. But there's less and less non-white Hispanics. When I say saying non twice, I mean that white people who are not Hispanic, most of the descendants of Europeans, is not coming in this country. And not to mention the birth weight numbers of white people who are non-Hispanic is decreasing. They blame immigration of non-white of non-white immigrants come flooding the zone, they blame abortion for why the birth rate numbers of white people is going down. That's according to the white supremacists, the white racists, the anti-black racists, the anti anyone that's non-white that happen to also run the government. Is saying that the birth rates of white citizens is low. Now, I know they'll say American, but they really mean white folk. They can complain to me all they want. So now that they see that finally some Europeans for once are coming into this country that are immigrants, that are refugees, they're flooding, allowing the immigrants from the Ukraine to come in because of the situation that's happening between them and the bully Russia. Like I said before, it's the first time in a long time that Republicans are now for immigration, but they're only for the Europeans, the Ukrainians. They're still anti the people from south of the border or the Caribbeans coming in. And yes, right there, like you said, they kicked out the Haitians. They're not letting anyone. There's other situations going on in Africa and the Caribbeans, but they're kicking those. They're deporting them. They find if they see that they're illegal, they're deportating them. They're throwing them in jail. They're beating them. They're shooting, killing them. They're sterilizing them because they don't want too many. I looked up an article a long time ago that there's a growing number of African immigrants coming in these days, as well as Hindus and Caribbeans. They said that they could be a big mass of them by 2060, while we keep hearing about in 2040, white American descendant of slave owners could be ended up the biggest minority. They could become the new minority. And the white races, the anti-black races, they don't like that. So now, because they're at fear of losing their political power because they don't have the numbers to vote people like them in. However, that's why they're trying to get buffer classes to side with white supremacy so that the white supremacists can still rule in power as a minority, like in South Africa. The majority of the people of South Africa are black, yet the influence and black people are running the country, but half of them are under the influence of the white people. That means the white people are somehow being the puppet masters behind the scenes as a minority, meaning there's less white people in South Africa, but they still get better treatment than the majority of black people who are the majority. So the white races have decided that if they can't have a big population, they at least can still try to keep the power, but in order to stay in power, they'll need a buffer class that they'll treat better, and then a poor class that they'll treat worse. That's how they're trying to do it now. That's why you're going to see a lot of the white Hispanics, the white Middle Easterns, the anyone that passes for white, anyone that originally would not be classified white, they're going to do exactly what they did with the Irish and the Italians. They were fighting each other, especially the Germans, the Italians, and the Russians and stuff. They were all fighting each other, and World War II showed why that they were really fighting each other. But when World War II ended, they realized, hey, we're white. They realized that this was about to be the beginning of their birth rates declining, also seeing a lot of non-white immigrants, or seeing an increased number of black people who are descendants of slaves, or black indigenous people who were already here before even child slavery was growing in numbers, our numbers. which is one of the other reasons why they originally created abortion, by the way, Margaret Sanger, that their numbers starting to decline. Now, their first original plan did include abortion because they were hoping that Margaret Sanger was going to convince Black women to abort more babies than other groups to decline the numbers, which unfortunately they did in some way decline a little bit of our numbers, but not in the levels where we're doom and gloom, because we actually have less abortions going on. It is white women who have more abortions going on. Otherwise, they would have kept Roe v. Wade if they knew it was more Black people getting abortions. See, they realize that it's more white women that get abortions, and that Black people have actually been decreasing in abortion numbers, which is good, that because that means that's a lot of our babies not being killed by abortion, even though it is still a problem that's affecting the Black community. Yeah, because to tell you the truth, I'm not saying that I'm for or against abortion. I understand women who are the victims of sexual assault, why they want an abortion, because they weren't willing to have sex, but they were the victims of rape and sexual assault, and it led to a pregnancy, and they were probably not ready to have a child. They don't have the money. Yeah, they could give it up to an adoption agency, but still, some of these adoption agencies are not being heavily funded to take care of some of these kids who are in the system. So that's another problem. And like I said, going back to the woman wasn't ready to give birth. But we also know why they're now all of a sudden want to get rid of abortion. It's because of the birth rate numbers. I understand why some people are against abortion. Well, actually, I just said it's the birth rate numbers. The people's numbers are going down, population numbers are going down, and because they believe that some women try to use abortion as an excuse to not take responsibility for when they go around doing all these sex activities, not thinking that nothing's going to happen, that they won't expect the consequences like a pregnancy, and then you're just some people who are anti-abortion says that if they get rid of abortion, it will cause some women to be more responsible with their sexual activities, as in they be careful of who they sleep with and what they do. You said that you don't believe if you want to get rid of somebody, get rid of the rapist. Yes, that is true. Okay, that's your opinion. Oh, which, by the way, why do you think this government punish rapists less, other than that some of their crimes are not being heavily reported like they should? The reason why that the anti-abortion people are, or the people in the government are trying are less, don't punish rapists harshly as they would murders, and even some robbers don't get heavily punished. Like, I mean, even some robbers get more harsher punishment than some rapists, because this is out of desperation of the people who are trying to increase the population numbers. They are hoping that some of these rapes lead to pregnancies, and if they get rid of abortion, they have no choice but to give birth, just so that they can have population number increase. Yeah, it's pretty sick. It's pretty disturbing. But that's what happens when you're desperately trying to increase your birth rate numbers and try to increase your population numbers when you feel like they're too low. Because they want to increase the population numbers by any means necessary. That's why sex crimes are being punished less and other crimes are being punished more. Like crimes that, I mean, and yes, they should be punished harsh if they kill someone. But the reason why they are punishing that rapists are not getting harsher punishments is because they're hoping to get women pregnant by any means necessary, even using rape. Some people probably think it's a conspiracy theory, but I'm starting to look at the facts. They're getting rid of abortion. Rapists are punished less, or getting less harsher, getting less punishments. They're getting rid of abortion. They're trying to reactivate the ban of gay marriage and stuff like that. Yeah, they're gonna start going after LGBT stuff. I mean, I'm not like I care. I don't really care about the LGBT stuff, to tell you the truth. But the white community, the leaders of the white community that are trying to get the birth rates in their community back up, are trying to do anything, get rid of anything that's actually hurting population numbers. They believe is hurting population numbers. Anything that's not going to help their population numbers grow, or anything that can halt population numbers to grow, they're trying to get rid of it. Now, as for black people, those ideas were originally meant to hurt the numbers of black people, but now seeing that more white people are doing it, they're trying to get rid of it now. You see, their risk of getting rid of abortion, if they are anti-black racists, the anti-black racists that are anti-abortion, their risk is that this is going to actually help our community increase in numbers as well. It's going to allow more black people to be born existed. But the reason why the race soldiers don't care about black people's numbers growing is, even if they get rid of abortion, they have other methods that they're going to try to use to get rid of black people to the brink of extinction. That's why they're not concerned about if black people's numbers are going to grow because abortion is no longer existing, because they have other methods that they're going to try to use to get rid of us. But yeah, the reason why I'm talking about this is because, yeah, that transcription was leaked. And when they heard that most of the Supreme Court is going to overturn Roe v. Wade, oh, they are pissed now. They are on the attack. The protesting, let's just face it, they are on the attack right now. They are on the attack right now, out there protesting and fighting against the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And you know they're going to try to galvanize us to try to help them out, even though they have not helped us out. They don't want to give us reparations. So why should I forget? Because you know it's mostly white women that's angry about this. You really don't see a lot of black people angry about this. It's mostly other groups of people. But yeah, anyway, so yes, the transcript. Now, the official ruling on Roe v. Wade happens next month. So maybe I might do another live stream or a video talking about that when it finally actually does happen. If you've ever watched the episode of Batman Beyond, The Call with Starro, that's how I see white people's things aren't always what they seem. Yeah. All right, now let's talk about the other topics I wanted to talk about. First, I'm going to. There's an art. I think there was something I need to look for first. All right, hold on. Um, oh wait, before I go, I need to invite LB in because hey LB, what's up?
What up, JDAWG? Long time no see, bro.
Yeah. I just talked about two topics: the Patrick Floyd situation and the abortion situation. Do you have anything to say about those two topics? Because I'm about to get on my next topic, which is the Dave Chappelle. But do you want to talk about the previous two I just talked about? What's your thoughts on those?
What was the first topic again? I know the second one was about abortion. What was the first one?
Patrick Floyd, the Congolese that was killed by the race soldiers.
Oh no, I don't know anything about that. I haven't to read the article about that, so I'm not going to
It
speak on that.
happened
But
at Grand Rapids, Michigan. I forgot to mention that that's where it happened.
oh
That was
really?
the
Oh, you
race
talking about the same
soldiers.
dude that got shot execution style by the police and no charges were filed for that?
Yes, because they haven't even identified the shooter.
Well, shouldn't he have his body cam?
They had the body cam.
They should have been easy to identify him,
They
unless they choose not to.
yeah, they only have the body cam of the shooter, but they don't show the actual shooter because it's the camera. I think the body camera was from the shooter's
Right.
body camera, and they're not. They said that because the guy was not charged, they're not going to identify the officer. So
That's
we don't know
bullshit.
who this individual is. Yes, it is bullshit. But this happened in Michigan.
Oh, somebody saying in the comment section he cut off the body cam.
Oh, okay. I didn't really know that part. To tell you the truth. But
Well,
yes,
that's yeah. I might do some digging on that. Then I give my thoughts on it. But as far as the abortion go, let's talk about that one because, bro, now you familiar with the whole Roe v. Wade situation, right? The whole thing started off a lie when that white woman Norma McCorvey lied about three black men and a woman gang raping her and getting her pregnant.
oh, okay.
That was the whole premise behind Roe v. Wade, and it was a dude by the name of Henry Wade. He was the DA of one of them counties out in Texas. That because I did a whole bunch of research on that. So a ruling came down in Texas that abortions were illegal, right? Barring anything happening to the woman. That was the only time a woman could get an abortion was during that situation right there. So Norman McCorvey, who at the time was Jane Doe, challenged the ruling and then came up with that lie talking about how three black men and a woman gang raped her. That was the whole premise behind Roe v. Wade. Now, Roe v. Wade became unconstitutional. I mean, the whole abortion thing became unconstitutional. Basically, they make it legal to for a woman to go out and have an abortion. Otherwise, if you leave it up to the states, it's going to be basically to where the Republican states will say no, the Democratic states will say yeah. So you live in an area where Republicans don't, if you're in a Republican state, they don't allow you to do that. Could be a possibility. You could be driving hundreds of miles or flying somewhere to a state that does allow it. Now, where it gets murky at is you might have to be a legal resident of that state for it to get done.
Yes,
That's
that's
where I
correct.
think a lot of things. That's where I think the situation, in my opinion, gets murky. But it depends on each state because each state operates differently, right?
Yeah, you explained this more than how I explained it. Let's also not forget about the creation of Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger. She was the one that came up with the idea of trying to make abortion federal because the original goal was to decline the numbers of black people using
Right.
black women, these feminists, and anti-black men to get rid of their babies, so that
She wanted to
population
end.
numbers, yeah,
She wanted to basically make it to where black people are extinct.
yes. Her plan failed because number one, we're still here, and our numbers are not as bad as some other groups like they think. The only reason why we're still 13% is because we're not being counted by the census. We actually may be more, way more than people think, but because we're not being counted by the census. Also, white women have the most abortions than any other group.
Right.
That's why they're trying to get rid of it. Because if it was only just non-white people, and particularly black people, they would never try it. They would be promoting it. Both parties would be promoting it like they were promoting an amusement park. Come over to our amusement park called Planned Parenthood. But because they saw that it's more white women, and now that they're seeing that the birth rates of the white community has been decreasing ever since both the Civil War and World War II, now, okay, it's affecting us more, so we have to get rid of it. And we have to do whatever it takes to get our birth rates or at least our status up. That means if birthing, women being giving birth is not enough, we need to look at putting people who look past for white, uh, give them white status, like the white Hispanics. They, do you know that most of, even some of the white Hispanics do not have that white status that would consider them as being a white person. Now they're going to start doing what they did with the Italians and the Russians and the Irish is if you look white, if your skin is white, if you are white, guess what? In this country, you're white. So that's what's going to start happening. More people are going to start getting that white card if they pass for white. Why? Because it's about keeping the stats up, keeping the population up so they don't, because they're desperate not to become a minority. Being a minority, the risk is that if you don't have a buffer class to keep you voted in power, like political power, um, then you're really going to be in trouble. That's what the white racists, the white supremacists don't want to happen. And one of the things they think that can help with the population numbers is getting rid of anything that decreases population numbers, such as abortion. And trust me, abortion, they're not going to stop at abortion. They're going to um, they're starting to allow child marriage. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna make sure that rapists are punished less harsher, meaning that rapists don't get as much harsher punishment because they're hoping, and this is out of desperation to try to increase their numbers. Why? Is because they're hoping that some of those rapes lead to pregnancy. So they're also going to start affecting the rights of the academy, because you can't get pregnant with people of the same sex. You just can't do that.
Right.
Um,
Unless they become surrogates
become surrogates, or if
or
the bisexuals still get with it, because they say that bisexuals are people that go with both sex. As long as the bisexuals are with the opposite sex, yeah, there's a chance of pregnancy within that community. But same sex, no. And you're right, surrogates or sperm donors. Was there anything else you had to say? Wanted to say?
no, you pretty much covered everything else.
Yes. Yeah, the academy, the LGBT community can only increase their numbers by people joining the group, or surrogates, sperm donors, or if the bisexuals get the opposite people pregnant through sex and stuff like that. Or if trans men or keep certain parts, trans people keep certain parts and get the opposite sex pregnant. That's really the only way for the LGBT to increase in numbers. Because to tell you the truth, the LGBT can't really do much to increase their numbers because as a group, they are the lowest population.
That's a
So
fact.
that's why they're going to start infecting their rights too. These people who want to increase the numbers of the white community. It's out of desperation because it the white the numbers for white people is completely bad right now. They are the ones. All the stuff they've tried to do to get rid of black people into the brink, put black people into the brink of extinction. Now they are the ones that are at risk with the brink of extinction.
I agree.
Yeah.
And and not only that, about the Census Bureau giving inaccurate numbers when it comes to people in the black community.
Yes, like I said, it's like with the census. Um, yeah, they're not counting us as properly in the census, and that's why people still think we're only 13 or 12% of the population. No group that can stay alive or increase by only still being 13% of the population, while other groups increase in percentages. That's just no way. That means something is not right. Now, let's get on with our next topic. You've noticed that we've had the Dave Chappelle picture, even though we're talking about something else. Because right now, I'm about to talk about the Dave Chappelle situation. Um, as you know, this is comedian Dave Chappelle. Hold on a second. I'm trying to. I knew this was going to happen. All right. But yes, this is comedian Dave Chappelle, ladies and gentlemen. So the other day, he was doing a comedy show, and then this guy happened. Well, yeah, this is the photo right here of Dave Chappelle being attacked, but Dave Chappelle managed to actually put up and fight back, and the security came and stomped the dude. This is the guy who did the attack. His real name is um Isis Isa Lee. Um
Isaiah.
Isaiah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I pronounced it wrong. I wasn't looking at this word right. Isaiah Lee. Um, they even think that this guy maybe some people are even declaring that he may be part of the academy because of his painted nails. Um, although there is no evidence, that's just allegations or just someone putting in conspiracy theories. So there is no allegations. Although there is possible allegations or conspiracies that this guy may have been set up by a member of the group to attack Dave Chappelle because remember, Dave Chappelle last year or earlier this year was in controversy over his jokes about that same academy, and particularly the trans sector of the group, and they were pissed. What they're even more pissed is that people actually defended Dave Chappelle, including even Netflix, to the point where Dave Chappelle has not been canceled, he's not been severely punished, and he's still doing comedy tours compared to other celebrities who get canceled and then their careers are over. And Dave Chappelle doesn't even have a big Hollywood career as much anymore, but he's still in the spotlight and still doing comedy shows. Yeah, even some people in the Academy defended Dave Chappelle, saying he did not go too far. But some people would try to do hits on Dave Chappelle because they said that the security was supposed to be tight, yet this guy, Isaiah Lee, was able to sneak in with a knife, but fortunately, security and Dave Chappelle fought back. Now, some people like Chris Rock came in and want to blame this on Will Smith, that Will Smith is setting the stage to attack comedians because of what happened, what Will Smith did to Chris Rock at the Oscars. That is a lie. Now, Chris Rock is lying. He's trying to be relevant. Comedians have been attacked for their jokes in the past. DJ Fly was recently attacked last year. Ari Spears said he's been attacked before. There have been other communities that have had to deal with death threats
You had the
or
comedian.
what?
I'm sorry, JDAWG.
Oh no! What was you about to name an
You
example?
had the one comedian who had a white woman run up on the stage because the white woman didn't like what he was saying.
Oh yes, you. What's it? Afton Crockett or something? The light
Yeah,
skin.
I forgot his name, but it was this
Yeah,
white
but
woman.
he was in Dance Flick with Damian Wayne's son. He's in a lot of stuff. I believe he was also in the Real Deal. I mean, Soul Man with Bernie Mac and Cedric the Entertainer. But yeah, I forgot how to pronounce his name. But yeah, he got was dealing with hecklers and stuff like that who
Yeah,
go
and that was
after
way before the
him.
Will Smith incident. So what the
Yeah,
hell did? And then I don't know if you heard this one, but Howie Mandel came out and said that dumbass shit too. Talk about, oh man, Will Smith triggered a whole bunch of events where people run up on stage. I'm like, man, you sound like a complete idiot.
yes, this has happened before, but because Will Smith is a black man, they have to make it demonize him because Will Smith won that award and didn't get taken away when he attacked, when he fought. And Will Smith was fighting, but felt that he had to do what he had to do to protect the honor of his wife, who is dealing with an illness that affects hair growth, causes hair loss. And she probably did not like being made fun of. There is a thing called when comedians cross the line.
Well, see, this is my thing about that. The um the incident had died down, right?
Yes, that's right. It did die down.
The incident
And
died down, and Chris Rock reignite that whole thing. Talking about, was that Will Smith? I'm like, come on now. I'm like, you really had to open your mouth about that shit.
he wants it because he knows people will defend him because they're anti Will Smith. They know that he knows that this could help him get butts in the seats for future stand up comedy skits. That he wants to be like Dave Chappelle. He wants to be defended for his jokes, and so that he can get more butts to the seats to his comedian shows. But you see, the difference between Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock is Dave Chappelle, number one, is his own man, and Dave Chappelle speaks the truth in some
And
of his comedies.
another thing,
Yeah,
another thing too, JDAWG, is Dave Chappelle got community support. Chris Rock don't got that. Chris Rock got support from white people and other coons.
yes. Now, Dave Chappelle, he also got support. He's Dave Chappelle. He's done coonish thing stuff and gets support from the white people. But like you said, you're right. He also gets black support because his comedy is based in truth, and he is even willing to offend anybody and not take what people what he's the one that is not going to sell out as much as a Chris Rock would. Chris
Well,
Rock
no,
would
Chris Rock,
nothing. Yeah,
Chris Rock, Wanda Sykes, Terry Crews, all of them in that same boat.
yes,
Disrespecting black folks and all that just to get white people laughing at them, laughing at their jokes and all that, right? And you know,
yes,
all the people that look, Will Smith had nothing to do with Isaiah Lee running up on stage and trying to attack Dave Chappelle. Will Smith had absolutely nothing to do with that. So for Chris Rock to run his mouth like he did, I just thought that was a bitch move on his part. I think he was a bitch. I think he was a slut. I think he was a scallywag for even mentioning Will Smith. Will Smith ain't got nothing to do with that situation.
yeah.
He should have left Will Smith out of that.
I know because right now Will Smith is trying to recover. He's relaxing on vacation right now. He's trying to stay out of the public, hoping to die down to the point where he can be forgiven, and is trying to recover his image so he can be forgiven and stuff. That's what Will Smith is trying to do. Chris Rock is just trying to use him to try to get publicity. Also, Dave Chappelle made an enemy out of the Alphabet Academy. So what makes you think that it wasn't them that planted? Because they know that if the person happened to be openly trans or openly gay and attack Dave Chappelle, um, then that would make them look bad, and it would prove Dave Chappelle's point, and then it will only make their community look bad. So what if they make? But the thing is, they're not going to disclose. They're not going to reveal the guy's sexual orientation because they know that if they do that, that's going to make that community look bad because they will definitely suspect that it was because of his jokes about the LGBT community.
Right. So as far as I'm concerned with that, you know what I'm saying? Look, you run up on stage, them motherfucker kick your ass. Hey, you deserve every little bit of that ass whooping you got. You
Yep,
had no business up there.
that's right. Hey, what's up? Craig J. Welcome to the show. Um, Oh, I think oh yeah, and thank you for making sure. Make sure that y'all subscribe to LB. He just put the link to his channel in the comment section. What I might hopefully, if I remember, try to do is put it in the description box so that it can be left there so that people will try who knew just came in after they missed the live stream to come in and subscribe to your channel so you can get subscribers as well. I gotta make sure I put your thing in the comment section and description box as well. Um, but we're now gonna go into another topic. We're gonna talk about Kevin Samuels. So, as you've heard, he died this week. He was only 56, 57 years old. For those of you who don't know, we're going to show you a picture real quick of the man himself. So give me a few seconds because I forgot where I found that picture of him. Um, shoot. I thought I had a picture of him. Hold on, let me see. This might help me out. Um, Sorry about that. Hold on. This won't take long. I thought I had a picture of them already, but everyone is talking about this. Um, all right, here it goes. But now I'm about to share my screen real quick. Um, but this is the man himself. This is Kevin Samuels. So he died this year, or at least they think he died. So far, they said that it has been confirmed. So we're playing devil's advocate here. That but they don't know how he died. Many people said natural causes, which I don't believe because he was 56. That's still too young for you to be dying. You either was sick with something, had a cardiac arrest, or you were killed by murder or suicide or something like that. There's no way a 56-year-old is dying from natural causes. I expect a 100-year-old or even a 90-year-old to die from that, but not a 56-year-old. I That's a lot with that woman that got killed. They said that she died of natural causes, and then I'm like, this woman is 29 years old. How is she dying? How are you dying of natural causes at young ages? How are people this young is dying of natural causes? But anyway, Kevin Samuel was known for being a date consultant. People try to get advice about marriage and dating and stuff. And yes, would say things in a certain way that either people agreed and liked his style of how he said things, while others that he was insulting people and trying to think he was big, this smart guy, or think that he was big and stuff, or being a little bit disrespectful. But others say that he was just being tough love or just telling a harsh truth. He would rather be tough love or tell a harsh truth, but it will still be truthful than just try to tell a sweet, innocent lie that hurts less, except it's a lie and stuff like that. And now you even have enemies of his celebrating his death. And I'm like, now that I definitely don't agree because I don't think he has done anything to where you celebrate his death because you got people like Roger Ailes, Breitbart, or should I say Brightfart, um, Jeffrey Dahmer, um, Rush Limbaugh. They are now deceased, and I didn't see that much high celebration. I hope the people who are celebrating the death of Kevin Samuels, I hope you are this party hardy when George Zimmerman finally dies, because I will be. But yeah,
Man, this
I just want to know what you think about that, LB.
man, people out here who celebrating somebody's death, man, or wishing death upon people, man, you know what I'm saying? Look, that's something you don't play with. That's something you don't even mess with. And yet, people out here celebrating this man's death, man. You guys are disgusting, man. You guys are the scum on the bottom of a bathtub. Straight up. That's not cool. Now,
I
just because
know.
you don't agree with what he's saying, don't mean you gotta wish death upon somebody. I mean, how many people out here with so much hatred and vitriol in their heart? And for all you people out there that think that way, you proving that man right. Now, me personally, I've never watched a Kevin Samuels video. I
Me
don't.
either.
I didn't have any intentions or desire to watch that because I have it on good. I think that you got to be careful who you're listening to, uh, and who you're taking advice from. Now, I'm not going to knock the brother because he's passed away now, but he's built a massive following off of what he did. You can't deny that. What he's done in the 24 months, it's been remarkable. Over a million subscribers and all that, and you can't take that away from him. But the people out here who wishing death and all that, man, I'm like, come on, man. I mean, come on, have some decency, have some respect,
I
and
know this
and the
man
reason
has
why,
family.
and then another reason why a lot of people where they are right now because they got low self esteem, low self image. They don't know what they want. They out here selling for bum ass people in their circle and all that. These ain't shit dudes and these ain't shit hoes walking around here. Everybody around them is the problem, but them. And it's like, and then look, this the thing. This whole dynamic started way before Kevin Samuels, right? And
Yes.
it's gonna continue way after Kevin Samuels. All these leeches and all these um parasites gonna do is find the next person to attach themselves to an attack. That's what these parasites do. These lice, these fleas, these ticks, all them running around here doing that type of shit. That's all they're gonna do.
Yes, I know. They're gonna find someone else to go around hate and saying. Matter of fact, they've already got a few people that they hate now because they don't like how this person explains stuff. Especially even if that person is telling the truth. Like I said, I disagree with some of Kevin Samuel. I felt like he treated some people wrong and stuff like that, but still at the same time there was times where he actually told the truth. You see, sometimes it's because some people don't want to hear the harsh truth. Sometimes you're going to have to be a little harsh with your truth if it's well deserved, as long as it's the truth. I understand if someone was saying harsh things, lying and bullying and stuff, But if you was trying to be truthful because you want to be the person that tells the truth, you can't be mad how the truth is. And that's what Candace Samuels is. If he was telling the truth, yeah, it's gonna be harsh. Truth hurts sometimes. He was just trying to be, you know, maybe if you did this, you'll be better at stuff. Yeah, he probably did want, in his own way, he wanted people to do better, but he had to show some tough love to try to motivate people to do better. And that's what some people didn't like. And also, like you said, those viewership, those subscribers, probably the money he was making, there was probably a few people who was just jealous of his success and are happy to hear that he's gone, hoping that they will get it now. Anything you have to say about what I just said?
Yeah, it just it's crazy right now, and you know it goes back to who you are and what do you want, and a lot of people cannot answer that question about who they are and what you do that defines you, and what are you here for? Because see, we are here talking about Kevin Samuels, but we not really talking about who's hating on him. And it goes back to a thing I heard with the thing Kevin Samuels is built, right? We are going to remember Kevin Samuels. We're not going to remember his haters.
That's right. I don't even want to mention some of this haters on this live stream because that's what some of them wanted. They wanted us to talk about the haters. So I'm not gonna mention those people. I probably know a few suspects of haters, but we don't want to mention them because we don't want to give them no publicity. Some of them I even used to listen to, but not anymore. So we're not gonna give them publicity on this channel. So, but yes, Kevin Samuels, agree or disagree with him, he has told stuff, and sometimes it was the truth, or maybe he, in his own way, he wanted people to start doing better. Otherwise, you're going to hear the harsh truth.
Right? Now, I know some people may not. And today, in today's society, you know, it's hard to tell the truth. I know I'm just as guilty as the next person. Sometimes you don't want to hear it. And a lot of times, it's what you need. The people in my opinion, the people who's willing to tell you the truth about what's going on in your life and all that, then the people I think you need to be around, because the people who's willing to tell you the truth no matter what, and they ain't got no ulterior motive. They want to see you be the best you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Them the type of people we need to hang around. Them type of people we need in our circles that's going to uplift us when we going through struggle. Everybody in this God that's walking God's green earth right now has gone through struggle. Some people going through it right now. Some people are past their struggles. Some people haven't even been through a struggle yet, but they're going to go through one, because too many times we put the wrong people.
Yo, I can't hear your mic.
Oh, can you
Um,
hear me? Can you hear
yeah, I
me?
hear you now.
I mean, too many times we've gotten bad advice from bad people who think
Exactly.
who think that who we think that's good for us, because what might be good for you, no, tell me, what might be good to you may not necessarily be good for you.
Exactly.
And too many times we sitting up here telling, people telling us what we want to hear. And if they're not telling us what we want to hear, then all of a sudden now they're a bunch of haters. People don't like me. The whole world's against me and all that. People just don't understand me, all this other shit. But like, you're not willing to do what's necessary for change. Change is good. It might be fearful, but it's good. It's necessary. Things don't stay the same. You have to evolve. You have to evolve the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you think, the way you act, the way you speak, the way you write. If
Yes.
you don't evolve, if you don't change, then your situation is not going to change because everybody's looking for change from the outward, but change starts from within. You can't change things outside of you if you don't change the things inside of you. And a lot of times people just don't want to hear that. And when you tell them that, then there's all this negative energy, there's all this vitriol, there's all this venom, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Sorry, J Dog.
Sometimes.
I didn't mean to be going on this rant though, but still.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's not about what you want to hear or what you want to do. Sometimes it's about what you need to do and what you need to do and what you need to hear. But no, I think that's all I'm gonna say. I still don't know the actual autopsy of the cause of death. So maybe that might be something we probably can hear like later on because they still haven't determined. They're still investigating what was going on, regardless to the death of Kevin Samuels. We know that he was um 56 at the time of his death, or 57. Um, I think that's all the topics I wanted to talk about right now because there's stuff that I probably want to make separate videos for because, I'm trying to get back to making as much videos as possible. So there's going to be a few topics I'm going to talk about in separate videos because I also want them to have more viewership. Even though some of these topics we talked about today, if there's more updates, I'll probably talk about them in separate videos. Uh, for everyone who's listening, make sure y'all subscribe to our guest LB. Um, he has a YouTube channel. Make sure y'all, it's in the chat room right now. I might will hopefully make sure to put it in the description box and comment section. Um, I might be able to do it now. Let me see. But yeah, I want to know if you have any final thoughts concerning today's topics.
Um, I appreciate you for having me on, and it's always good to fellowship with you, J Dog. And like he said, like the brother J Dog said, if you're not subscribed to my channel, just I put the link in the chat room. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. What I attempt to give a glimpse of what's going on in the media from sports and politics, and I try to tell you what happens, and what's going to happen. And I'm raw, I'm unfiltered, and that's only where I can be. So any help, any subscriptions would be appreciated. I hope you enjoy the content. Thank you.
All right. Um, thank you, LB. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you for coming over. Yes, thank you. It was great, Daryl. Hopefully next time, Daryl, you can come on and maybe have your opinions on this live stream. But yeah, I'm about to end this live stream for now. Thank you for anyone for coming in. If you're for some reason just coming in now and miss a lot of stuff, you probably can catch me on the replay. Yeah, just catch me on the replay or something, and maybe you'll from the very beginning you'll hear what we've been talking about. But that's all I have to say for now. This is JDAWG. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another video or live stream. Peace, everyone.